This week is Merritt's first week back after Christmas break. Here you see Merritt doing our traditional seat work pattern. It goes kick down left, kick down right, kick down both. Kick up to the left and touch your toe, kick up to the right. Fix your seat, which is a motion that involves pulling yourself deeper into your saddle. Then petting the horse on the neck so you have to lean forward. Then arms circling left and right, and then twisting, putting your hand on the horse's rump and looking over your shoulder. Next we do a movement that's called frog on a rocket. Merritt bends her knees up and leans forward, simulating the look of a frog that's riding a rocket. Here I have Merritt doing circles with her hands. The key is to do as round a circle as possible. You want to practice doing circles both forwards and backwards. Then I ask Merritt to pass the imaginary stick behind her back, behind her neck, over each shoulder, and under each leg. Though Merritt's balance still isn't quite good enough for her to ride much independently, we do a little work on figure eights off the lunge after giving Merritt her stirrups. Here Merritt is learning how to slide down the rein to help Molly turn smoothly. I ask my young students to turn this way because it keeps them from balancing on the horse's mouth and also helps them learn about when rein stops. My favorite thing about this method of turning is that as the horse completes the turn, the rider's hand naturally comes back to the center, putting slack in the rein. Here Merritt practices a few turns. I'm telling her when to turn left and when to turn right to help her learn how to shape her turns nicely and to regulate Molly's speed. I'm using a handheld tagger or marking signal to tell her when she's done a good job of turning with both her eyes and her hand at the same time. As you can see, it makes a big difference in the smoothness of Molly's turns. We also do a few tags for Merritt's hands coming back to the center after she makes the turn. When I feel like Merritt can turn with some degree of accuracy, we begin incorporating obstacles. This is Merritt's first attempt at trotting a figure eight. She's still very green at posting, so she's mostly trying to sit the trot. I've set out cones for her to steer around to help her figure out how to make a nicely shaped figure eight. This is Merritt's first time ever trotting off the lunge on Molly, so I want her to stay on a figure eight to help keep her in a confined space and keep Molly slower. This clip is from Merritt's lesson a week later. For an extra challenge, Merritt is riding in half chaps today instead of full chaps. This makes the saddle seem quite a bit more slippery. But as you can see, Merritt retained everything from the previous lesson and is now trotting several laps in a row on the figure eight pattern. This time I have set 3 cones out for Merritt to turn around and a pole for her to trot over in the center. The 3 cones are used to help her make a rounder turn. I like this significantly better than just using 2 cones to tell her where to go. Also, before she had the pole to trot over one direction, she tended to turn the figure eight into a serpentine. With the pole there, she gets the figure eight perfect, and the pole is enough of a distractor to help get Molly energized so that she'll trot the whole time. It was interesting to see that the first few times Merritt went around the figure eight, Molly deliberately avoided the pole. As soon as Molly felt confident that Merritt could trot over the pole and keep her balance, and also that Merritt wasn't going to scold her or kick her and try and get her to jump the pole, Molly willingly aims for the center of the pole and trots over it beautifully. It just goes to show that the pony almost always knows best. At the end of Merritt's lesson, we review trotting on the lunge with stirrups. It's been several lessons since Merritt has worked on her posting, but as you can see, she's improved significantly. I have her passing a stick behind her back and neck while she posts to help her figure out how to keep posting while she's doing something else. It's common for young riders to have quite a bit of difficulty posting off the lunge when they're learning. This is primarily because it's hard for them not to take their hands with them every time they stand up to post. By asking Merritt to move her hands different places on purpose, I'm preparing her to keep posting and steer Molly at the same time while she's riding off the lunge. As you can see, Merritt is still more comfortable sitting than posting, but I don't think it will be too long before she's equally good at both.